Hello friends, Mali Panpadith here, CEO of the SWORD Community Network and co-founder of the SWORD Community Nebula. As you know by now, our goal this year is to highlight 1,000 champions of change and community builders. And today we're delighted to bring you Michael Zhuang. Thank you, Michael, for being a part of our global initiative.
Well, thank you, Mali, for inviting me.
I really appreciate you. So can you introduce yourself to our community and let them know what you're currently working on in the world?
Sure, yes. So my name is Michael Zhuang. Let me start my story from like 13 years ago. 13 years ago, I was running a hedge fund, my own hedge fund actually, in Florida. And I was dissatisfied with my career choice because all day long I sat behind a computer, create smart programs to make money for myself. And I just don't see any value, any social value in my work. And then one day, out of the blue, I got a phone call from my own family doctor. And they say, Michael, I can't be your doctor anymore. I was puzzled. I was like, what's going on, doctor? Is it my insurance? It turned out that my doctor was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He told me he has only a few more months to live. And then he asked me, is there any way I can help them? And that really changed the course of my life, because I was a hedge fund manager then. I wasn't supposed to help people in a way. But then my doctor mistaken me as a financial planner. He asked for my help. How can I say no to him? So I ended in his house, sat down with his family, and helped them organize and prepare their personal finance, which was in a mess at the time. 3 months later, he passed away. I stay on board to help his wife and children making the necessary adjustment. And they were very grateful. One day, Mrs. Johnson held my hand and says, Michael, I don't know how I can thank you enough, because without you, I wouldn't have been able to handle all of this. And at that moment, I realized I have finally done something really meaningful in other people's life. I finally have a positive impact on someone else's life that I never had that experience before. And that experience was really great. It's really rewarding. So from that point on, I changed my hedge fund into a wealth management firm, helping people take care of their personal finance. So what has befallen my doctor wouldn't happen to them.
That's a powerful story. Wow. And all these years that I've known you, you've never shared that story with me, which makes this interview even more So, Michael, now that you are in this field and you really feel that the work that you're doing is impacting your community, where in your life have you experienced someone else shaping you into the person that you are? Is there an experience or a mentor that you would like to highlight that's helped
I can thought of two person or two instances that I like to highlight. Can I mention two or just one?
Two is fine.
Both of them. Okay. Yeah. So the first time I experienced something that is powerful, or something did to me that really turned my life around, was basically right after the breakup of my first marriage. There was a period of time I was so depressed. I was on the edge of not just depression, basically mental breakdown, so to speak. I would be wandering around in parking lot and just feeling myself like fallen leaves without any anchor and being blown by winds. The feeling of unanchoredness and hopelessness. And then just in the parking lot in a church, someone just approached me out of the blue and asked me, what's going on? And he noticed I was my spirit was very low, and he just wanted to have a conversation with me. And that person eventually invited me to his house and basically walked with me through the most difficult period of my life. And until today, we're still great friends.
Wow.
So this is like almost like a random kindness, right? You saw something in a parking lot that looked depressed, and then you walk over. This is like random kindness, and it's such an inspiration when I look back what he did for me.
That's beautiful. And your second person?
The second person is So I started my practice, right? My wealth management practice, but I wasn't very well prepared for this business. At the time, I was not articulate. I was shy. I was so, and then basically 3 years after I started my practice, the world went into the big recession, basically, 2008, and my business almost failed. Uh, and then there was again another stranger from Tulsa. He has been reading my blog. I've been blogging my experience and blogging my investment knowledge, and he has been following my blog. And I share my struggle on my blog, and he reached out to me and say, Michael, your investment knowledge and your knowledge is really very good. What you don't know is how to run a business. So, and then he point me in the right directions. Again, it's like random kindness from strangers. He didn't have to do that, but he did that. He pointed me in the right directions, and well, since his help, my business took off. Basically, literally the same years that he pointed me in the right direction, my business really turned around and got better year after year.
That's so powerful. Really cool stuff. You talk about this random kindness, and sometimes I wonder how random is it, because they're so profound sometimes. One moment, one experience to change the course of our life, or to change our way of thinking completely. It's just interesting to really think about like who we are being ourselves in the world, and how often are we randomly showing up and supporting someone that we don't even know. So this is a reminder. It's a great reminder. So when you think of champions of change and community builders, Michael, what are some of the characteristics that come to mind? What attributes are consistent with community builders?
I would say that first characteristic is mindfulness and awareness, because he has to be mindful of the environment or the mindful of others' needs. So mindfulness or aware of other people's needs or unmet needs. So mindfulness is very important. I think the second thing is empathetic. He should be able to feel what other people feel, right? If you are mindful of other people's suffering, but you don't really suffer with them, then you're not on the same shoes with them. So the empathetic is important as well. And I also, to be an effective changer, a change agent, one need to be a connector as well. Know how to connect resources.
So, Michael, when you think of a community builder or change agent, what characteristics or attributes come to mind for you?
Well, first things first, he has to be a mindful person, aware of the needs around him, aware of the suffering other people are going through. So I think mindfulness is extremely important. The second thing is empathetic, right? He should be able to put himself in other people's shoes. If those people are suffering, he should almost like suffer with them, right? If you're mindful of their suffering, but you're sort of step off and even enjoy other people's suffering, then you can't be a changer. And then I think the third characteristic that I think is very important is that he or she has to be a very good connector. He should be aware of the resource around that he can connect to, or the people around that he or she can connect to and leverage to bring about the change that he or she envision.
That's great. Now, when things have been challenging for you, and you have shared quite beautifully and vulnerably experiences in your life where you have felt scared and lost, are there philosophies or a quote, perhaps, a motto that you follow that helps to ground you and move you forward?
Molly, I think the connection get disrupted again. I just noticed that my Wi-Fi was connected to a not so good signal, so I'm going to change my Wi-Fi for a moment, and please ask a question again.
Okay.
It will be 1 minute.
Okay.
It somehow connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot upstairs. To further away, I don't know. There's a hotspot nearby in the computer.
Okay,
someone connect to the further away hotspot.
That's fine. I'll pause the recording.
Yes.
Okay, Michael, now next I'm going to ask you, when things have been difficult, as you have beautifully shared earlier and vulnerably shared, when you felt down or lost, is there a philosophy or a motto or a quote that helps you to come back to center and move you forward?
A quote, not in particular. That's a good question. I never thought of that. I went through difficulties. I must say that there was a period of time when I went through difficulties, and I seek inspirations. I seek knowledge through learning. So there's a few books that helped me a lot during those time. One book is there's actually three authors that has helped me a lot. One is by Sean Aker. He wrote a book called Happiness Advantage, and he basically his thesis is this: sometimes if you want to turn your happiness come from within, it's not from without. Sometimes to turn your life around, you need to change within first. Change within first. How to change within? You have a few habits. Exercise regularly, meditate regularly, and do random act of kindness. Actually, would change the happiness from within. And have a journal with a thankfulness journal. So just having these little habits would make you turn yourself into a happier person. And once you're a happier person, you are much more resourceful in dealing with all the adversities outside, right? So that's his book. The other two authors that have impacted me a lot is one is called Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. He is a Hungarian psychologist talking about how to create optimal human experience. Always have something to strive to. Always something that is beyond your reach to strive to that would create the optimal human experience. And then there's another author. He's actually a University of Pennsylvania professor. He's the founder of the positive psychology trend. He basically says that our optimism or pessimism a lot of time is self-taught. We're not born with a certain inclination, but sometimes we taught ourselves to be pessimistic and taught ourselves to be optimistic. And there's a way for us to change our mindset from a stagnant mindset to a growth mindset. So these are these things that we can do basically.
That's great.
Yes.
So the other question I have for you is, are there causes or movements or experiences that you are pushing forward, advancing with your gifts, your talents, and experiences? Are there initiatives that you're launching to help create greater social impact?
Yes, I have to mention two as well. One is my passion, and the other is my burden. So both are important. The passion part is that I've been doing performance for a while. I've been doing improv, musical improv, sometimes stand-up comedy for a while. And I'm at a level that cannot ask people to pay to see my performance because I might cause damage in their mind. I have to pay them to see me, basically. But I saw a lot of great performers, and their life are not easy. A lot of artists, they live an easy life, basically, financially. On the other hand, the world, sometimes we really need more laughter. My community need more laughter, or my business world need more laughter. So it's my passion to connect these two worlds, the artist world and the business world, or the artist world to my communities, so that they can bring happiness, laughter to my community. At the same time, they can make a living as well. So I've been producing shows regularly in Bethesda, producing comedy shows. So this is my what I love to do, but it's also my passions. The second part is my burden. My burden is this. I've noticed that most Americans are underprepared for their retirement. The majority of Americans just don't save enough for secure retirements, and it's part their habit, it's part consumerism. It's like the culture of consumerism that if you have the money to spend it, and it's very hard to change. And I want to change it. Maybe I'm too tiny to make a big change, but I still want to. I still want to at least start doing that or try to do that. And my idea is, the leverage point I thought of is like company employers. If I can persuade employers to offer their workers a 401k plan and a specific type of 401k plan, auto enrollment and auto escalation 401k plan, then the workers will be saving for their retirement even without their knowledge. So this is something I want to do. I want to advocate to employers to take the initiative to help their workers, to help their employees. I imagine if they can influence 100 employers, and that 100 employer can help 100 of their employees, then I have a positive impact in 10,000 people, and make these 10,000 people have a more secure retirement. And I'm quite passionate about that.
Yes, well, you just answered my next question, which is, what would a better world look like through your eyes? And you just answered it. You said it would be more people having more money for their retirement and planning.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful. What are one or two ways that our community can support you, Michael, right now? What can we do to support your movements, your initiatives, your passion project?
Yes, well, come to my shows. Shows that I produce, I'd like to invite all of you guys to come to my show. It's a way to support the artist. The second thing is that connect me to like-minded organizations who also want to help American workers in their retirement saving. Or connect me to like company entrepreneurs or businessmen group so that I can speak in front of them. I can share my vision with them. Yes, and hopefully I can influence some of them to take actions to benefit their employees. So these are a few things that our community can help me.
Yes, thank you. Our community, yes. And we're really excited because you will be sharing your insights at our summit this year. So we're really excited to, again, spread your mission and spread your passion to our community as well, now our joint community. Thank you so much for your time today, Michael. This was a pleasure to interview you and to be ignited by your passion. I love how excited you are about your work and also supporting your community. Thank you for all that you do.
And thank you, Mally, for interviewing me. I think I lost myself a little bit talking to you.
Oh, that's good, right? That's a good thing. Well, we love that when your passion just takes over and the message just comes through. I appreciate you. And for those that are watching, thank you so much for following us, for being a part of our journey here as we bring to you global community builders and change agents. Please remember to nominate yourself. Please remember to nominate somebody in your community who's making a difference, and visit us at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.